Welcome to Cadeau and Janko Wednesdays at Lunch Burger Edition. This week we went to Scarolie's Pasta Emporium out on St. John's in Point Claire because in our quest to try every burger in Montreal and rate them one by one, we can't just go to burger places and obvious places. You know, one of our favorite burgers of 2016 was from Cosmos, a little breakfast joint that I didn't even know had a burger before we went, and it was a very pleasant surprise. I mean, maybe not one of the best, but it was a very pleasant surprise. It was up there. So this week we went to Scarolie's Pasta Emporium. Matthew, this is a personal favorite of yours. Tell me about Scarolie's Pasta Emporium.
I wanted to see how long I could go without being in the episode. Yes, I was very pleased that we finally got to go out to the West Island.
Yes, you've actually been, pretty insistent for a long time. We haven't been to the West Island since episode 2.
Yeah.
So I guess we were due.
Yeah, and we got to go to the Deep West.
Well, you see, yeah, this morning before we went for lunch, I was talking to you, texting you, and you said either we could go to the West Island or we could go to the Deep West. I think I texted you how deep is deep.
Yeah.
And then didn't receive a text back for a while, so I figured I would just call you because I figured you were writing me a book about how deep into the West Island we could go.
It's like the Montreal's underground city. There's an underground city, a deepness to the West Island.
Yeah.
That people don't know about. But really, it was just, do you want to take a metro and a bus or just a bus?
Well...
and so we took the metro and bus.
Yeah.
That's what I call the Deep West.
Oh, okay. I thought there was like a far deeper West Island that we could have gone to.
Yeah. No, you need special badges for that.
Oh, okay. Do you know about this, Matthew? I want to say up in St. Leonard, there's a cave. You could go crawl through this cave in Montreal and look at like maybe some bats or stalactites. I don't remember because I did it when I was a kid, but like 8. I've seen it recently on a TV show, and it feels a little too claustrophobic for me to want to try again now. As a little squirmy little kid, I could get out. I could be all tied up in a skipping rope and get out of there, no problem. But now I wouldn't want to try it. A cave or the skipping rope.
That sounds terrifying for me. A cave, yeah, any kind of spelunking, anything in the dark where I'm constricted. I don't even like sitting between two people at a table. So no, definitely I need to be out of that.
Maybe I'll look into it, see how claustrophobic it really is. Maybe that's an adventure we can go on before going for a burger or after. No, probably before going for a burger. You don't want to fatten up before going into a little hole.
No.
Yeah, maybe this summer we'll go visit a cave.
That sounds terrifying. And when I was a kid, I think I liked being tied up.
Yeah.
I like being tucked in real hard.
Yeah. You've told me about how you like squirming into like little places as a little kid.
Yeah.
In like drawers and things, baskets.
Anything I get into, pantries, little potato areas for the pantries. But
potato areas.
I don't know what it's called. It's where we kept the potatoes.
Okay.
But did I ever talk about this on the show where I convinced my mom to tie me up to a chair?
I don't think you've mentioned this. I think this is news to me.
I love being constricted when I was a child, and it sounds so strange.
It does sound strange. This episode's starting off weird.
So I got my mom to constrict me. I
like how they start with like, so tell me about this restaurant you love so much, and then it's like, well, so my mom tied me up.
Yeah, I think this may have been part of the Magic Matthew series.
Oh, okay.
Where I wasn't ready for it to be filmed, but I wanted to practice getting out of a chair. I wanted my wrist tied down to a chair.
For those who aren't aware, the Magic Matthew series is when Matthew, as a boy, was a shirtless magician and made little magic shows on video. Yeah, like it needs to be cleared up because if you're like, well, this was a Magic Matthew video. First, my wrists got constrained. It sounds like it could be something else entirely.
It could have been. So after a lot of pleading, I convinced my mother I was probably 8 at the time.
Okay.
Convinced her to tie me up to a chair outside, and I was like, "Now just leave, go do whatever you were doing in the house. I'm going to get out of this."
Yeah.
And I kept trying and wiggling, and I couldn't do it, but I was really determined. And then I got a nosebleed.
Oh gosh.
And so I just started bleeding so much from my nose.
Yeah.
And I eventually got so much blood in my mouth,
oh, no.
and I was all over my shirt, And so I had to start calling for my mom. I was like, Mom, I know I told you not to come out. If I called, I need you to come out. Mom, I'm bleeding. She comes out and I'm
There's
just
blood all over your
like,
face.
how could it happen? I'm sitting there and tied down. There's nothing that could have happened to me. And my face is just this bloody mess. And so we didn't try that again.
I've gotten 2 nosebleeds in the past couple weeks, but I think it's just from like dry winter air and me not like covering my face properly when I go outdoors.
Yeah. I wish some of these videos had made it to the Magic Matthew VHS though.
Oh man,
bloody Matthew tied to a chair in his backyard.
So wait, did you? Oh, you did not set a camera on face. This was the dry run.
Yeah, it was a dry
not
run.
that dry. It was very bloody.
Yeah, it never happened. Never happened again.
I did something similar when I was a kid. I'd have my older brother tie me up with a skipping rope, and I was fascinated by Harry Houdini, and so I wanted to always be able to escape the skipping rope, and I was almost always able to. I think there was only one time where my brother said to really hog tie me, arms and legs, and I was lying on my back, I think, and I had my arms and legs tied together, and I just squirmed and wiggled and couldn't squeeze my little rubber arms out of it. And then it was lunchtime or something. I had to hop up the stairs with my hands and feet tied together, and I made it almost all the way up before I fell down. And then it was I'd tumble back down the stairs. My older brother probably got in trouble for tying me up and letting me fall down the stairs.
Yeah. And as adults now, we're both pretty claustrophobic.
I wonder if it's something in our youth that caused this.
Oh, probably.
Similarly, though,
yes.
I was talking to my brother over the holidays, and I brought this up. Another game we used to play was basically another, not a magician or escape artist, but a daredevil inspired me. Super Dave Osborne, not a real daredevil, just a cartoonish daredevil, basically. I would get on my Ninja Turtles big wheel, and we'd make a stack of Tonka trucks, and he would just push me through them. It's a wonder that I never got very hurt, because those Tonka trucks were made of real sharp metal. Yeah. Back when we were kids, toys were made of very sharp metal. They were extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Now it's just Nerf City.
Yeah. Everything's
Kids will never know what getting very hurt is. We'll never know the feel of a tetanus shot.
Yeah. You didn't have to wear helmets.
No.
As a kid.
No, I definitely should have. No, I think I did have a helmet when I was playing this, but it was it was like a kid's bicycle helmet. It saved the top of my noggin maybe from getting scraped up, but aside from that, there's plenty of sharp Tonka.
They can go right in your eye if you wanted.
Oh man,
if it wanted to.
Yeah, I don't think I had glasses yet. I was just a little kid.
Yeah.
Just a wee one. So Matthew, why do you like Scarolie's? Why did we go there? What's going on?
I've been wanting to go to the West Island for quite some time.
Yeah.
And 2017 is the year of the West. And at least January will be the month.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Well, we're not going to go West Island every week this month.
Well, maybe not. But I want to.
We've got a few other locations in the West Island. We'll spread it out
throughout the year.
Spread the love around, Matthew.
Do it all this year.
We got to go to Verdun.
Yeah.
Mile X. All kinds of neighborhoods we haven't been to yet.
I started this podcast with you so that I can go to Scores, so that I can go to Scarolie's, so I can go to Moe's.
Well, Moe's shut down.
There's a Moe's in the West.
Oh, Moe's Deli and Grill.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Moe's Deli and Bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, but so this place, Scarolie's Pasta Emporium,
yes,
is a place I went to probably go once a year, maybe twice a year. It's a family get-together place. It's where we would meet up and celebrate birthdays. And
so with aunts and uncles and cousins, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I always really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I like pasta.
Sure.
Never had a burger, though. Not until today.
All right. Who even knew that a place like this would have a burger on their menu?
I think it was the last time I went. I was looking through the menu a little more extensively because I always order the gnocchi, I think.
Okay.
And I replace the sauce with the rosé.
Ooh.
And
sounds nice.
I just go to town on that.
Sounds nice.
But then I was looking through and I was like, they got a burger? I figured I had to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
If anything's going to get you into the West Island, it's the promise of burgers that shouldn't be. So what would you think of Scarolie's?
Honestly, we got off the metro. We took a long bus ride. It was kind of rainy out, so the bus windows were all foggy. Who knew where we were? Right? It was just you could have been taking me anywhere. I didn't know what bus I was getting on. I was just following your lead.
You were through the mist, through the clouds.
Exactly.
And you enter.
We got out. The roads were covered with ice and dangerous. It was a treacherous trip, Matthew, from to who knows where. The mystical West Island, and Point Claire was not clear at all. It was foggy and misty. We walked to this strip mall parking lot, and found this nice little on a corner, nice little Italian restaurant.
Diamond in the rough.
Diamond in the rough. It's basically like there's malls and lame office buildings and stuff around there for businesses I would never want to work for. And then you open the door and you're greeted with a smell, a certain lighting, a certain look that made me feel great. I felt like, oh, I'm going to like this place.
Yeah.
I went in really enthusiastic. We were shown to our table. Our table's nice. The decor is maybe a little corny, but it was still nice. There was certain areas of the ceiling that had like a sky with clouds painted on them.
Yeah.
And, that kind of worked for me in the sense that they have these also like fake grape trees and what have you inside. Which if you'll recall, Matthew, probably the last time you went to my parents' place, we also had a fake grape tree inside. So seeing a thing like that, I was like, oh yeah, just like home. There are like bricks on the ceiling and like some maybe stereotypical Italian restaurant style paintings on the far wall, but on the whole it smelled great, it looked great. The menu was nice just to hold. It was like a nice thick soft leather outside. It was like the menu was like a couch, like an old Italian leather couch.
Yeah.
We knew they knew we were gonna get burgers, so we asked when we walked in.
We asked a different guy if they had burgers, and then the waiter came up and was like, hey, you want to try some burgers? It's option number 5.
Yeah.
He's like, did he know? Did the other guy tell him? These people came in and they want burgers.
I doubt that, he saw us walk in and was like, don't worry, guys, I got this table. That's Cadeau and Janko of Cadeau and Janko Wednesdays at Lunch.
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure one guy just said, hey, the other guy, hey, they're here for burgers.
So I was hoping maybe our reputation
had preceded us finally.
Yeah, and like now we go into a place and they just have
they
a burger.
Roll out the red carpet. I decided when in Rome, do as the Romans do. No Italian pun intended, I guess. But we took a trip all the way out to the West Island. I'm not going to just get a burger at this nice Italian restaurant. Let me try some of the Italian restaurant's things. I opened the antipasto, and it's the antipasto is like the Italian appetizers, basically. And I noticed the menu was like strangely organized. It wasn't like in columns or rows or anything. It was like in a brainstorming session. Like they were just kind of sporadically placed around the menu, which I found kind of odd and made it hard for me to, lock in on anything. My eyes were going all over. Matthew had just eaten and he had breakfast with a friend before we went out for lunch. Maybe an hour or two had passed. So he wasn't hungry enough to get like an appetizer and a meal and a dessert and a this and a that. I was excited and ate more than I needed to as per usual. And I was just looking at the appetizer going, Matthew, do you want to get 2 appetizers? I'm looking at 3. I'm looking at getting meatballs, but I'm like, oh, we're getting a hamburger. Do I really need meatballs in a hamburger? I'm going to turn into a meatball. So...
Yeah, I think it worked for you. The menu worked because it was sporadic and you were looking at everything. Mm-hmm. You couldn't lock in on one thing like you said. Right. So you were like, all of a sudden you want 3 things because your eyes are just darting all over.
Exactly.
But I did have to rein you in a little.
Yeah. And I want to introduce you, Matthew, to prosciutto and cantaloupe.
Yeah. Which
I don't know if you've ever had, but it's a very common before meal appetizer, bite-to-eat snack type of thing for Italians. And we'll have it eventually because I just think it's a delicious treat. It's that beautiful mix of sweet and salty that I love.